What's going on, guys? It's me, Airliner Fan HT here, and today we have another Aviation Memorabilia Haul video for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for today's video. I've been looking forward to doing this Aviation Memorabilia Haul video, and today we're going to be looking at the Aviation Memorabilia items I got from Airliners International 2025. Now, this is not really the first time I labeled this as an aviation, like I did these Airliners International haul videos, as I did two of them from Dallas and Kansas City. However, this video in particular will be labeled as an aviation memorabilia haul video, so why not do it with all these Airliners International haul stuff that I got from Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, I'm just super excited to do this for you guys. I got a lot of memorabilia I got during the convention, and overall, from the 25th to the 28th, it was really fun for me. I had a great time interacting with aviation enthusiasts, buying some memorabilia, buying models. Stay tuned for a mass unboxing coming up on that one. But man, it was an awesome convention, I gotta say. Probably like the best as compared to all the other conventions I attended. So here we are. These are all the memorabilia items I got from Atlanta, Georgia during Airliners International 2025. So let's get started here. Now, I do want to try to make this quick because I don't want to make this video too long. I'm not sure for like the previous videos that I did. I'm not sure how long those videos were, but I want to see if I can try to like do them as quick as I can while going over like various details on each memorabilia item I get. So let's get started with this one. So this is the Airliners International 2025 booty bag. Different for this year, but as you can see, you got the Gemini Jets logo right there, and on this side you got the Airliners International 2025 logo. Now, back when I went to the Kansas City and Dallas convention, they have like a bag that's kind of like similar to like a grocery bag. However, for this year, it just came in like this. It's like a kind of like suitcase style bag, I guess. Not sure why they ended up going for like a different bag for this year, but regardless enough, I have this. But I think the downside to that is me fitting some models in, because apparently there isn't not enough room to really fit many models that I bought from the convention. So yeah, I had to utilize some other like booty bags from other various like collectors, like various retailers. So yeah, but we do have this Atlanta bag. Now it has some zippers, so you have the front pocket right there, and then over here is like the main pocket right there. So I'll go over what's on the front pockets. So let me just I'm standing up, by the way, so I'm just gonna go over these ones right here. So here are all the various like memorabilia items I got. So just making sure that they're empty. So let's get started. So first one on deck are these business cards from Custom Diorama Panels. I ended up getting three of them. So as you can see, Brad Myers right there, so you can see his name, Brad Myers, and you have his phone number right there and his email address right there. So let me just zoom in a little closer. There you go. Now, I've seen his vendor table in Kansas City during the convention, and he had some really amazing diorama panels, from like runways to aprons, and he handcrafted that and basically painted them to make him really look realistic. So it was really cool that he did all this work just to provide this amount of details, and he also does them on like various airports. So you got Kansas City, Atlanta, Los Angeles, San Diego. That's a lot of airports he did, and I was fortunate enough to buy some of his diorama panels, and I'll go over that in this video today. So as you can see, here is the Venmo QR code right there, so you can scan that and you can check out his products. His order of payment is through Venmo, so I had to do it like that. So yeah, they get same thing for that one. Next up, we do have is Jet Tips tag of Airliners International 2025. So you can see Airliners International 2025 in Atlanta. So similarly, it's like a similar tag compared to all the other airliners tags from Jet Tip I have. So I have one for Dallas, I have one for Kansas City, and I have one for Atlanta. And the final product from the pocket are these Delta Airlines trading cards, and I do want to give a big thank you to Lucas Aviation for providing me these. Two of them are actually from my flights, so we'll start off with this one right here. This Boeing 717 trading card. I'm not sure if you can see me, but this came from my Delta 7. Well, did I say 727. Oh, sorry, I think I'm kind of mistaken. But this is the Delta 717 trading card I got from my Atlanta to Charlotte flight on the 29th of June. So really nice to have this, and it shows you all the details of the Boeing 717. In addition, I also got this trading card of a Boeing 737-800. Oh, I think I just saw my face right there, so I think I do want to, because like this is I was not expecting this to be chrome, but yeah. As I was saying, this is the 737 safety card representing a 737-800, and yeah, as you can see at the back, it gives the information of that particular plane. So yeah, these are 2025 made, by the way. So yeah, well, you can see my face, but yeah, this is literally made out of like clear chrome, I guess, so I do want to try to make sure I don't see my face. I mean, you haven't seen my face already, but yeah, this is the 737-800 trading card. I flew on a 737-900ER from Sacramento to Atlanta, and I got this from the pilot when I arrived in Atlanta on the first day of the convention. So yeah, really do want to give a shout out to the pilots for providing me with these trading cards. They look very nice. In addition, I also want to give a shout out to Lucas Aviation for providing me with these other Delta Airlines trading cards. So we first have a 767-400. I've seen plenty of these in ATL, but I also saw one at LAX during my LAX day trip too. This is made in 2016, and it gives you the information of the 764. In addition, there's also a 737. I guess these are like, how would I word this? These are like really cool, where, you know, I don't really call what trading what type of cards are these, like these where you're kind of like, you bend them somewhere and it shows you like a different look of it. So you have this with the Delta pilot's badge, I think these are not badge, wings, and then on the bottom it shows the 737. This is card number 32, and then the same goes for the AC-20, and I guess another AC-20 card. But yeah, these are all the cards that Lucas Aviation gave me, so thank you, buddy, for these cards right there. And overall, these are really nice memorabilia hauls from that lineup right there. So yeah, that came from the front pocket of the booty bag. So, but that's not it, as I do want to go over the other memorabilia items too. So let me just like unbox all of these, and here they all are. So let me just like remove all of them. So we'll start off with this one first. I'm gonna have a separate video clip on these two. So here is the Legend Airlines folder right there, similar to what I got in Kansas City, and this one is a ATC tower from Tarmac Designs, which I'll also go in a separate video clip on this one, but this will also be featured in this video too. So yeah, that's all of the memorabilia items so far, but we're gonna move on to the Legend Airlines folder first, and then we're gonna proceed to what I got from this Tarmac Designs box. So let's get started with the Legend Airlines folder, and then we're gonna see what are the stuffs inside. Okay, so let's take a look at the Legend Airlines folder. Now, this is the exact same folder as what I got for Kansas City last year. I'm not sure why they ended up going for a similar folder this year, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I think they like the design of this. So yeah, here is the Legend Airlines folder once again. So this was an airline that used to exist back then. They didn't run as many operations. They have a hub in Dallas. They were founded in 1996, and then they like ceased operations in 2001. So it's an airline that they did not last long, but I know they did operate some DC-9s. And as you can see, there's their fax and phone number right there. So yeah, let's take a look at what's inside. So as you can see, a lot of aviation memorabilia items right here. So we're gonna get started with the flight operations guide. So here's the flight operations guide for Airliners 2025. And as I go through the pages, you can see, welcome to Atlanta, and then you got some descriptions right there. Chris Slimmer, who is the Airliners International co-chairman, and then you can see some JJ postcards right there. And probably I might go over a separate video on this. So you got their flight plan right there. So basically, this is kind of like the schedule. Like, this is basically, they call this a flight operations guide, and they kind of like called it like their schedule for what's going to be happening throughout the convention. So here is their flight plan right there. So you got all the times and specific things that are going to be happening. So yeah, Wednesday to Saturday. So here's all the lists right there. And then you got the special recognitions list right there. So you can see Chris Limmer, Bill Dimmers, Leila Coley, and then you can see all the other people like Jim Jet Thompson, who is the person who attended every single Airliners International convention from 1976 to 2025. So huge props to Jim Jet Thompson on that. There's also Tom Livesey, Rachel Phillips, who is Noel Phillips' wife, World Airline Historical Society, and at the bottom you can see the special thank you to our team volunteers. And as you can see, you got a lot of people right here. And then you can see all the guest speakers, and Connor McCauley is right there, also known as CM Aviation, so I'm going to go up close. So yeah, there's CM Aviation's name. You can see the Delta Flight Museum layout right there. And then you can also see the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport diagram right there. So you can see all the runways, taxiways, concourses, ramps, FBOs, and all that stuff. So really nice to feature that. And yeah, it's like similar to every single airliners flight operations gotta have. So towards the seminars are right there. And then you can see some other things as well. And then there's Airliners International 2026 in Denver, Colorado. So that's going to be next year from June 24th to the 27th. And then you can see Jet Tip right there and Brandon International. You guys that's there. And then there's David A. Stringer's Saturday Night Banquet speaker flyer right there. So yeah, that's the flight operations guide. There's also a couple of collectible shows that are also there. I also got like flyers for other collectible shows. So here is the DFW show that's going to be happening on April 25th of 2026 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it'll be located at the Doubletree Hilton DFW Airport North. And then there is a flyer for Airliners International 2026. And then here is some other, I guess, I might go over these later, but we're also going to be moving on to the ACE International Airline Amsterdam Aviation Collectibles Fair right there. So here is their flyer, and then you can follow them on their Instagram and Facebook page. It's for 2026. So if you're living in the Amsterdam area or just close to Amsterdam, you can fly to Amsterdam to attend this event. And then you can also see the Paris CDG Airline Convention for 2025. That'll be from Sunday, October 5th of 2025. Postcards and all that stuff. And here is the back side right there. And then here is the banquet dinner flyer right there. So this is kind of like a program pamphlet right there. And then as you can see all the various things that are going to be happening. So you can see the welcome, Grace and Remembrance hosted by Sarah. And then trivia contest hosted by Jim Jet Thompson, sponsor of Waz. And then buffet dinner. And then all the list right there. And then again, there's David H. Stringer's flyer for the Saturday Night Banquet speaker. And there's the plane contest hosted by Tom Livesey. And then the presentation of the Paul Collins Award, which I forgot the name, but it was one of the guys who was seated at my table. And of course, I got another banquet dinner flyer right there. And here is my Airliners International 2025 ATL trivia contest. Kind of think a bit. But yeah, this is the contest that I did. So this came from the first trivia game from the banquet, and as you can see, didn't perform really well, 3 out of 10, but hey, it's a good learning lesson. Plus, I get to learn some really interesting aviation history, I gotta say. So as you can see, really interesting stuff. There are over 3,000, there are 357,399 rivets on a Boeing 747-8. And there are about 8,700 or 874,116 revenue and non-revenue passengers that carried by scheduled airlines. So yeah, really interesting right there. So this was prepared by Jim Jet Thompson himself in memory of George W. Cleary Jr. So yeah, those are all the other. So yeah, that's the banquet programs right there, the trivia contest and all that. And let me see if I got some others. Okay, so alright, so I'm kind of organizing. I'm just jambling all the various memorabilia items I have. So here's an aviation and safety archives right there. This came from Embry-Riddle Air. I'm not sure if I pronounced this. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona. And you can see all the various donations, collections, and who they are, and all that stuff. So yeah, there's that, and then all the various other details right there. And here is their QR code if you want to scan that. Here's Texan Airplane Store's flyer right there. So of course, Texan Airplane Store, with Nick being the host of this, or pretty much the owner of the store. So as you can see, there's our products, there's his impact, and then there's his contact number right there. And then there's the story right there. I've been purchasing some models from the Texan Airplane Store during past conventions, so it's really fun having their like being able to like purchase some of their models from them. Here is a Delta Airlines. I'm not sure why I got this, but I did get the Delta Airlines timetable because as soon as I was looking through various like timetables and I saw this Delta Airlines timetable, and one thing that caught my eye was the word Sacramento, since that's my home airport, and then you can see all the various like flights that Delta operated from Sacramento during this time frame. So you can see Albany, Georgia, Albuquerque, New Mexico, there's Anchorage, Alaska, there's Asheville, there's Atlanta, Georgia, of course, and then yeah, really interesting because it shows you all like the times it departs and arrives and all the passenger capacity right there. So this is a really cool timetable, and yeah, interesting on how there were many flights of Delta Airlines from Sacramento during this time. I'm not really too familiar with old aviation back then, so it's quite really interesting getting a scope of what aviation was like during like the, I guess you could say, deregulated time frame. Okay, 1997, because like this was after the deregulation, during the deregulation era of aviation. So yeah, really cool right there. In addition, I also got some safety cards too. Now these are all the safety cards I got from my flights I did, all my 3 flights I did. So here's the Boeing 737-900ER safety card for Delta Airlines, and as you can see, really nice details right there, and then yeah, all the various like safety features. And then here is the 2020, this was made in 2020, so really nice to get a safety card of a 737-900ER to keep. In addition, I also got a 717 safety card as well. Same goes as the 739 safety card. Really nice details, all the various other like, you know, safety features and all like the procedures you need to do and all the various stuff. This is made in 2021. And of course, I got my American Airlines safety card for the Airbus A321. Of course, that was my flight from Charlotte to Sacramento after Airliners International. And yeah, again, like similar to the Delta Airlines one, nice details from the procedures and all the various like stuff that are labeled there. And this was also made in 2021. But I did got a safety card from the convention, and it's none other than the Hawaiian Airlines 787 safety card. Now, of course, me as a Hawaiian ramper, I do want to get this, and yeah, this is their safety card on their 787, and as you can see, I really love the details that are labeled here. You can see all the various, like, again, like similar to the Delta and American safety card, and I do love the illustration of the 787 too. So yeah, I'm thinking this could be the first safety card they ever use on their first 787 flight. So as you can see, really nice details once again, and then here are all the exit locations of the Dreamliner. And yeah, and here is the backside, which features a light vest, like on how, like the procedure on how to put on a light vest. So yeah, that's that. In addition, I also got some other things. These are safety cards and postcards. I'll go over this white envelope on a separate video, but I do want to go over the postcards right here. So we'll start off with this United Airlines Boeing 777-200 safety postcard, which is in the battleship gray livery. This is, I think that's United's first 777, if I were to take a guess according to the back. So yeah, United Airlines is the first to take delivery of the new Boeing 777. Inaugural flights will be on June 7th of 1995. So here's that. In addition, I also have some other postcards. Now these came from the booty bag. So these are all labeled from Airliners International. So we first have a Southern Airways DC-9, a Piedmont 737-200, if I'm correct. Yep, that is a 737-200. We have a Delta DC-9 in the Widget livery, United DC-8 in the Sawbass livery. Is this a DC-8-62? There's a Eastern Airlines Airbus A300, a Republic. I think that's Convair 580. Yes, 580. I know JJ Aviation would really love this because there is Herman the Duck. There's an American Airlines 727-200 and an America West A320. So these are all the postcards from Airliners International. Now I'll go over it in a separate video because we're about 11 minutes. I'm not sure how much storage I'll be having for the next few clips, but I do want to make sure I want to save those. But for the meantime, I think I'll go over a separate video on this one, and I'll also go over a separate video on this one too. So let's get started with this one first. So without being said, let's take a look at those on the next video clip. Okay, so for this next video clip, I'm going to be going over all the aviation memorabilia items that are in this, like, I gotta say, plastic wrap. So there's a lot of like postcards that I'm gonna be looking at. I think there are also some trading cards too, so let me just like do this. Let me take them all out like so. And let's get started from the top with this Jet Set Models sticker right there. So I did got some GSCs from them during the convention, similar to last year. And here is their sticker right there. In addition, I also got the Airliners International 2025 sticker as well. Kind of like keeping these as like memories, I gotta say. I'm not sure where to place them. I don't really have anything to place in details. I still have the stickers from Dallas and Kansas City, but at least I got one for Atlanta. Next up, we do have, I'm guessing this is like a trading card of a Southwest's 3-1 on the Boeing 737-800, and you can see at the back. Now, from what I heard, I think this guy said he hasn't sold them yet. He hasn't started selling them yet, so I was gifted this as like I would say like, here, have this, because like we haven't started selling them yet, so I might be one of the first people to have this. So it's really cool to have this right here. And I think in addition, I think that same goes for this Orbis DC-10 flying eye hospital. I think that same goes right there. So yeah, same goes for like the 3-1. Here's all the details right there. So it's really cool to also have this for my memorabilia collection. Kind of like perfect for those postcards right there. And speaking of postcards, here are all the postcards right there I got from the convention. So I think this might be the postcards because I mostly got them during day one. So we'll start off with this Hawaiian Airlines. I think that's a Convair 580, and it's flying over like Honolulu right there. So you can see the Diamondback. I think this is Diamondback or a Diamond Head. So yeah, here is like Diamond Head, if I'm pronouncing the right name for this. And then there's also Waikiki Beach somewhere right there. So really nice to feature this. And yeah, once again, this is from Hawaiian Airlines. And as mentioned before, so yeah, this is a Convair over Diamond Head and Waikiki. So yeah, as mentioned before on some of the previous memorabilia haul videos I do, I'm starting to collect more Hawaiian Airlines memorabilia since I'm working for this airline, so it's really nice to feature these in this video for today. In addition, I also got a Hawaiian Airlines DC-9 right there, looking very nice, and I do love the colors. And just to make sure, yeah, this is their DC-9, and honestly, I really do like the livery on their DC-9s. You also got their old logo as well, so it's really cool to feature these. This alongside the L10, this livery along on the L1011 also looks very nice too. And of course, with Airliners International being in Delta, I made sure to get many Delta Airlines, not trading cards, postcards right there. So we'll start off with this Delta MD-11 right there, looking very nice. I do have a 1/400 version with this model, but this has a different style since there's no Delta titles on the tail, and it has the Delta titles on the number 2 engine right there. So here's a Delta MD-11. Alongside with that, of course, I had to get a postcard of a Delta L1011 because the widget livery rocks on this aircraft right here. So, and this is flying over the snowy mountains right there, so that's really cool right there. Somebody really did a good job on making, taking these pictures right here. So here's the Delta L1011. And of course, with me as a United fan, I also like to collect some United memorabilia as well. So here's their 787-8 right there in the Continental Globe livery. Many of these are starting to be repainted in the Evil Blue livery right there. Here's a United 777-200. I'm guessing this is like a 200 ER or just a regular 200 in the Battleship Gray livery, looking very stunning in some clear skies. And here is a United Airlines 747-400. I remember seeing these like back in 2017, and as you can see at the back, non-stop service at Deutschland in the USA. So non-stop service from Germany to the United States. So as you can see, here are the flights right there. San Francisco's got Frankfurt. This is the route that still serves as of today. You can also see Chicago with Frankfurt and Munich, Houston and Munich. So yeah, Washington DC, Houston, and Chicago both serve Frankfurt and Munich. But for New York's JFK, or not JFK, Newark Liberty, you got Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Munich, and I'm guessing Stuttgart. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that city correctly in German. But yeah, I'm guessing these are the route that United 747 flies to in Germany. So really nice to also feature these postcards right there. And that's it from this bag right here. So I'm going to move on to the other, I think the envelope is what's next. Yeah, envelope's up next, but these are all the memorabilia items I got from this bag, or that were in this bag. So really nice pickups right here. And overall, I do love collecting these postcards because like I do love seeing some old aviation photography. So yeah, that's kind of like my thing with airline collectible shows is me getting postcards and models. So really nice to pick up these two postcards right there. And let's move on to the envelope. So let's move on to the next clip, excuse me, where I talk about that envelope. So now we get into more memorabilia items, and we're going to be taking a look at what's inside this envelope right here. So this envelope is what I get from the booty bag. So as you can see, here's my name right there. And of course, inside are some memorabilia items. So let me just take them out like so. And here they are. Let me just make sure that everything is out. Okay, there might be some more. Let me see if I can try. There we go. Now just to double check to make sure that everything is empty. They are empty. So let's get over these memorabilia, these additional stuff. So here is a business card from Tally Ho Aviation Trading Cards. Now, as you saw on the Orbis Flying Eye Hospital and Freedom 1, this is the retailer I got this from. So once again, this is Tally Ho Aviation Trading Cards, and he has some really good, amazing trading cards from various like airlines, from special liveries to internationals, and you can see the Instagram right there, Tally Ho, and you can see the QR code for the eBay listing too. So yeah, Tally Ho Aviation Images, and then here's the Gmail right there. Next up, we have another, I guess this could be another flyer for the Houston Airline Memorabilia and Collectible Show. That's going to be on November 1st of 2025. This will be the 33rd annual show, and that'll be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Texas, and $90 guest room rate right there, and then you can buy, sell, trade, and all your various stuffs on the collectible show right there. And this will be held at the North Houston, at the Sheraton Hotel and Resorts at the North Houston at Bush Intercontinental. So yeah, there's the information right there. Next up, I do have a flyer from Photo Enrichments. Now, I did get some photo enrichments. Of course, I do see them every single year at Airliners International, so it's really nice to get some stuff from there. You can use the code ENJOYAI2025. I believe that's already expired at this point. Maybe. And yeah, here's the website, photoenrichments.com, and you can have 50% on your next online purchase of $10 or more. And here is another flyer for Airliners International 2026 in Denver. And here is a flyer for this 41st, if I'm here, let me position it. So this will be the 41st semi-annual, well, this is the flyer of the 41st semi-annual San Francisco Airline Collectible Show that's going to be held on September 20th of 2025. Highly likely I'll be attending this show. Of course, I've been attending the San Francisco Airline shows since September 2024. I just went there like a few months ago for the spring show on March 8th. So most likely I'll be attending the one for September 20th. It'll be hosted from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and it'll be at the Best Western Plus Ghost Vendor Airport Hotel. Of course, not too far from here from my home in Sacramento, just a 2-hour drive, but I'll make sure to attend this. And here is another flyer for the DFW show. And here is a flyer for layover layouts. So layover layouts were present at the show. They were behind Jet Set Malls and Tarmac Designs' vendor table, and here is their business card right there, like the backside. This is the QR code, and what they do is they do high resolution printing of like airport layouts, like ramps, runways, and you can do some custom, fictional, or real world. And it's free US shipping, premium of 18 ounces, and all scales are welcome. And you can see the Instagram page right there, layover layouts, and you can visit their website right there. So I wish I can get a layover layouts design from them, but I don't know why I ended up passing on that. But hopefully soon, if possible, I can try purchasing them from their website. And this is some sort of random, I don't think I got this from a retail store, but this is a Yukon Boeing 737. I'm guessing that's a 700 from what I'm seeing, or maybe it might be a 737-600. Wait, never mind. It has winglets, so it's a 737-700. The 600 does not have any winglets. But this aircraft is registered Charlie Golf Alpha November uniform, and I think I was given to by some individual who decided to trade off these stickers. But this is a really cool print of a Yukon 737-700, and yeah, Air North Yukon's airline. I think that's the name, Air North Airlines. But yeah, there's the 737-700 right there, looking very nice. And of course, I got, if I can like just stand up real quick, I got the flight itineraries, and this came with the envelope. So as I remove this paper clip, it shows you all of the, well, okay, I don't know if I want to try to like do this, I just want to check to make sure that I don't have any personal information with me. Just to check to make sure. Okay, good. So here is the flight itinerary for Airliners International 2025. Of course, I choose the 3-day registration with the banquet. So as you can see, don't have any wall tables. Now this is kind of like just the overall rundown of like what I ordered or just what of my registration. And of course, here are the backside. Unfortunately, I did not attend any tours. I was supposed to be on the 9 a.m. or which one is it? It's the ATL Ram tour. This one. So I was supposed to be on the ATL Ram tour on June 25th from 11:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. However, what I did not know is that I had to be at the airport at exactly 11:15 a.m. in order to attend that. So I arrived at the Renaissance somewhere around like 11 o'clock-ish or close to that, and I did not know that the bus left for the ATL airport for the people to get the TSA screening and all that. So while I missed out on my only tour at the Airliners convention for Atlanta, it was a good learning lesson for me. In addition, I also got the Airliners International 2025 welcome party reception ticket right there. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. I somehow forgot this at the hotel because I stayed at the La Quinta Hotel. I did not have a book at the Renaissance. Like I did not have a room at the Renaissance, so I ended up staying at the La Quinta Hotel, which is kind of like north of the Renaissance Hotel. And I somehow forgot this. But when I came into the welcome party, because technically you need this in order to go inside the welcome party, so surprisingly enough, they just let me in like it was nothing. So I guess I just showed up without a welcome party ticket. I mean, it was fine for them. Either way, I was still a registered guest. So yeah, that's that. So that's it for what was inside this envelope. So let me just pull this back up. So right there. So these are all the items that were inside this envelope. And yeah, really nice stuff. Mostly a lot of flyers, I'll say, and business cards, but at least I got some really cool memorabilia items, like some miscellaneous, like this 737-700 from Air North Yukon. This is just a sticker. Yeah, it's a sticker of a Yukon 737-700. So really nice stuff right there. And I was thinking of going for that Tarmac Designs ATC towel, but I will say that for the latter half. But I do want to go over the plastic bag that's right beside me. So we're gonna move on to the plastic bag because like it features some other aviation memorabilia items right there. Of course, this is a memorabilia haul, but I got some really cool stuff that are inside that bag. So with that being said, let's move on to the paper bag. We got more goodies to take a look at, and we're gonna see what's inside this photo enrichments bag. So, as mentioned before, I did got some photo enrichments magnets with me. I think I just only got one out of many because like I think for the past, I think it might be similar to Dallas in a way. Actually, I think Dallas I purchased a couple. I did that same thing for Kansas City, but I think for Atlanta, I think I just ended up getting one. But they do have one aircraft in particular I do like. Not sure if that's true, but we're gonna see what's inside this photo enrichments bag. So as I take them all out, I guess I'll just take them all like this. Like there we go. So just take them all out like that. Alright, and that's it for that bag. So first one I do want to showcase to you guys is this is not really Airliners International themed or like just like an Airliners International item, I'll say, but this I got from the Sullenberger Aviation Museum while I was in Charlotte. So these are some of the postcards they offer. So you can see one with a Cessna, I think that's a Cessna plane, and here is the backside. This is more of a postcard, and on this one, this features an airplane and then downtown Charlotte. Well, they don't call it downtown Charlotte, they call it uptown Charlotte. So here is uptown Charlotte right there, and this is another postcard. So really nice to have these. And yeah, the Sullenberger Aviation Museum is an amazing museum to attend, like to visit for an aviation enthusiast. The Airbus A320 for US Airways that was involved in 1549, that's like the main centerpiece of the museum, alongside some other aircraft that I think Sullenberger flew throughout his career. And it looks like I guess I was wrong. I think I bought I think I just only bought 3 magnets from photo enrichment. So let's go over them. So we first have this beauty right here. Of course, I do want to get this since I love this aircraft in the Delta fleet, and that is the Lockheed L1011 TriStar. This particular variant is the L1011-500, which is the shortest among the it's the shortest among the variants of the L1011. So there's that. The L1011-1, the 100, and the 200, that's basically the same length and width, but the 500 is the only one that's different, since this particular L-1011 is shorter. So of course, I do love the Delta L-1011. It's my favorite aircraft in the Delta fleet, even though those are already retired in 2001, but it's really nice to have them. In addition, I also got two other magnets right here. We have the Delta Airlines logo during the widget era, so yeah, looking very nice right there. You can see the Delta tiles and the classic widget. And of course, I got a Hawaiian Airlines magnet featuring a Douglas DC-10. I think that's a DC-10-30, so really nice to have another magnet for Hawaiian Airlines. In addition, I got some more bag tags right there. I got a 787 bag, not really a bag tag or anything, just I just call them a tag. So here's a 787 tag right there. Of course, me being a 787 enthusiast, I do want to get this because, of course, I love the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's a very amazing airplane. I mean, despite having one crash, the 787 is still considered a safe airplane. And of course, because of my private pilot training, I do want to get this Cessna bag as well, Cessna tag as well, because I'm gonna be using this when I think I'm just gonna have this displayed on my flight bag that I'm gonna be using throughout my private pilot training. So yeah, I do want to get this Cessna bag for the sake of my private pilot lessons. And of course, I got another Tahoe Aviation trading card right there. And I do have a couple of model retail business cards. We first have Squatchy's Diecast Hangar. Of course, Squatchy's Diecast Hangar is based out of Tacoma, Washington. Mainly within, I think, Washington University, if I were to take a guess. So here's Scott Nelson right there. He is the owner of this retailer, and he does have a in-store up in the Pacific Northwest. And I would love to visit there at some point, but maybe in the future when I go back to Washington State. I was gonna do that because I had an Airbnb in Tacoma, Washington during my stay in June, but I didn't have the chance to visit the Squatchy's Diecast Hangar retail store because my family and I were very busy. And of course, we have West Coast Diecast's business card right there. They're based out of the British Columbia area in Canada, mainly close to Vancouver. And they have some great varieties of model manufacturers from Gemini Jets, NG models, Aviation 400, JC, and Phoenix models. And there's their website right there. And then you can see your first order, save 10% off with this code count right there. And then you can see the QR code to scan that. You can scan this QR code to visit their website. Here's the Airliners International 2025 pin right there, looking very nice. As always, I always get these, including in the booty bag. You have the Airliners International pins for every year. So this year will be Atlanta, and here is their logo. And yeah, the pin features wings. Wings pin, whatever you like to call it, but that's there. More business cards are on the horizon right there. We have a couple more. Well, we already talked about the first two, but here is Final Approach Collectibles' business card right there. Of course, I did purchase plenty of them during many models from them from Airliners International, and here is the QR code so you can scan that. Here is NV400's business card right there. This is their first Airliners International, and I had a discount code with them, but I have a feeling that's already inactive because the last time I did that, I just had my old username or old tag. It didn't really went through, so I don't know what happened with that. Maybe they may have disabled it. So I kind of talked to them about that. Hopefully I can try to get that back at some point in the future. But yeah, here is NV400 Miles' business card right there. They're based out of Toronto, Canada. So yeah, really nice to see them here. And I wish I bought some models from them, but I was looking around the hall, the Spirit Hangar, just looking at these vendor tables, and yeah, I wish I had some models purchased from them. Here's Photo Enrichment's business card right there, so you can see all the various business cards. So as you can see, there's their QR code, same deal, nothing at the back, so yeah, you can scan their QR code. And here's Clipper Malls' business card as well. You can follow them on their Instagram page at Clipper_aircraft models, and they have some really nice GSC equipment. They have construction equipment and then scaffoldings, but they're also known to have their jet bridges, and they do have a 1400 Atlanta terminal as well, and Denver too, so that's really cool. This one, I don't know why this is there. This is a TransStar. I don't even know what this is. Is this like a postcard holder? Not really quite sure, but this is kind of like a miscellaneous item. I don't really know what this is actually, so yeah, that's there, but it came with a booty bag. Here's Tarmac Designs' business cards. So as you can see, they're known for having 3D model terminals and jet bridges and air traffic control towers. I will go over the one I got, the ATC tower that I got from Tarmac Designs later down the road. Here's their QR code right there. And then you also got Jet Set Models as well. So Jet Set Models, Jake Martinez, he was the owner of this retail store, so you can see their email right there and their phone number as well. And the back features this message right there, so you can pause and read, but I do want to scan through that a little quickly. I want to try to go quickly in this portion. And here is Texan Airplane Stores' business card as well, so of course I also purchased some models from them too. You got their phone number, website, and Gmail as well. And then there's Nick Anderson, which he will be the host for Airliners International 2026, so that's something new for Airliners International. We're getting all these like younger individuals to host these conventions, so that's really cool. Here's a Continental Airlines, I guess that's like a what do you call that, where you have like I think it's like a badge or something. So a Continental Airlines patch, you just like iron it on like a certain part of your clothing and it just sticks. But it's really cool to have, but I don't think I'm really interested on having these like, you know, ironed on one of my clothes, so I'll just keep it as it is. And I think from what I know, during like while I was getting my registration in, they told me that I can pick these like cards, so like these United Airlines trading cards if I were to take a guess. So I'm not a person who is into like trading cards, but they're cool. So yeah, these are just like Go Fish poker cards. You got like diamonds, clovers, hearts, kings, queens. So I mean, like, no, again, I'm not all this interested into these kinds of card games, so at least I got them at least for memorabilia's sake. So let me just, I don't know if I want to try to put them back. We're 9 minutes on this video, but not this full video in general, but this portion of this video clip. But yeah, anyways, let me just put that back in. I don't know if I did a good job on that, but okay, there we go. So that's in. Oh man, this is gonna take a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there we go. So there we go. And I forgot to mention about this business card, which is the Delta Flight Museum business card. So here is their office and store hours right there, like their phone numbers right there. There's their website, www.deltamuseum.org, Delta Flight Museum, and they're located in 1060 Delta Boulevard, Building B, Department 914 in Atlanta, Georgia. So really nice to also feature this business card because that's where the full vendor hall convention is at, the Delta Flight Museum, a callback from the 2015 and 2019 convention. Now I got these other trading cards. These were also from Tally Ho. I think I'll go over in a separate video clip, so I think I will stop this recording for the meantime, and then we're gonna showcase you all the memorabilia items so far. So we're about 10 minutes in this video's recording. I think this video might be an hour long from what I know. So yeah, these are all the memorabilia items I got so far. This is kind of part one, but I'll also go over the Tally Ho trading cards in a separate video. So let me just give you guys an overall look at it. So here they are right there. So looking very nice so far on all these memorabilia items, and yeah, that shows you how many aviation memorabilia items I got throughout this entire convention. So yeah, there's gonna be more within the next couple of clips. But we're gonna move on to the Tally Ho trading cards that I mentioned before. So with that being said, let's move on to those. Okay, so in this portion of this video, I'm gonna be going over all these trading cards, and I got these trading cards from these guys, Tally Ho Aviation Trading Cards. So as mentioned before, they have some really good trading cards right there. I got them for really good prices. And each trading card, I think they're like 16 packs, like I think 16 packs of trading cards, or 8, I couldn't really recall, but, or no, not 60, 9 packs each on these trading cards. So one of them features all Southwest planes, one of them features all United planes, and then another one would feature like numerous airlines from Hawaii and Alaska, Sun Country. So let's get started with our first deck right there. So our first set's of 9 with these ones right here. So I think these are all United ones. So I'm just gonna scroll through them quickly. So here we have a United Airlines Boeing 777-200DR taken off. Then we have a United 787-9, United 764. Many of them are the Evil Blue Libby, but I think there might be some in the Continental. Here's a 737 MAX 9, Here's a CRJ, I think that's a 7. Actually, no, this is not a 700. This is a CRJ 550. As you can see, there's the Gulf Juliet registration prefix. It's basically a 50-seater CRJ 700. Then we have this United Express Embraer E175, a Boeing 757-200, an Airbus A321neo, and we got the United Airlines Airbus A320 rocking the beautiful Friendship Stars and Bars livery. Looking very nice right there. So those are all of the United Airlines trading cards right there. So really nice stacks of them. So just like stack them like so. Next up, we're going to move on is some Southwest trading cards. So here is the Southwest lineup. So once again, these all come in a set of 9. So let's get started with all the trading cards I got. So of course, we're starting off with my favorite Southwest Special, Emu 01 on the 737 MAX 8. Then we have a Hart Lewis 737 MAX 8, a Hart Lewis 737-800, a 700, 737-700, 3-1 looking very nice, November 500 Whiskey Romeo. Here's Missouri 1. Here's Tennessee 1 on the 737-800. Here is the Desert Gold Retro 737 MAX 8, the Herbert D. Kelleher plane. And we have Maryland 1 right there. So those are all the Southwest Airlines trading cards right there. And then we're going to proceed on to the final deck right there, final set of 9. And I think these are the ones that feature like numerous airlines. So let's take a look at those. So yeah, like miscellaneous airlines. I think there's like various airlines that are featured in this deck. So here we have a Hawaiian Airlines Airbus A330-200. This is in their current livery. And we also have a Hawaiian Airlines Boeing 717. Here is a JetBlue Airbus A220, looking very nice in the Hop's tail. Here's a JetBlue new livery A321neo. Might be a LR or something. Not really quite sure, but most likely it's an A321neo with the mint pattern livery, or just like the mint livery. Here's a Sun Country 737-800 Tide Pod livery with blended winglets. Here's a Frontier A320neo, and I think that's Harp the Seal. Hang on, let me look at the North Star Harp Seal. So this is North Star Harp Seal, so looking very nice right there. Here is a Hawaiian 787-9 Dreamliner. I think this is during her testing phase. And I think that's 781 Hotel Alpha one I know. Here's their A321neo. And here is their Boeing 717 with that nice rocket climb. So those are all of the trading cards I got from Tally Ho Aviation trading cards. So really nice offerings right there. And overall, might see if I can buy some more of them if ever they come to like a different convention, like, you know, Airliners International, because I think they offer some really amazing trading cards. Like, he made these trading cards, so overall, really nice to have it. And what I also do like is they add some details of, like, the aircraft and all the registrations, the aircraft. Like, so here is the backside, so they have, like, the fleet type, and then they have, like, all of the registrations that the airline's currently operating. And then there's also some facts about this particular plane. So, take, for example, this Hawaiian 717. So this is a Hawaiian 717, and you can see its range and cruising speed and maximum takeoff weight and fuel capacity. And over here you can see all the various airplanes that have these registrations. So I think that same goes for many. Yeah, I think might be some, but take Florida. I think take Maryland 1 for example. It's just specifically for Maryland 1. And then same goes for the Stars and Bars Friendship Retro livery. And I think the A321neo has some. Well, I think there isn't any much, but I think there might be some that have like various registrations of various planes. But yeah, that's really cool to have these. It's really cool to have these trading cards right there. So overall, these are all the trading cards I got from Tally Ho Aviation trading cards right there. So that's it for this portion of the video. We're gonna move on to the next set of items. So let's move on to the next clip. Alright, so now I move on to another aviation memorabilia item. Now this is a box you saw before during this video. And this box comes from Tarmac Designs. So, yes, I did purchase a Tarmac Designs ATC tower. And honestly, like, this was literally the first purchase I ever did during the Airliners International 2025 convention. And when I saw this, I was beyond words at that point. So, yes, so I'm just super excited. So, as you can see, excuse me. So, as you can see, it might be a little bit squished up because of, like, the traveling, like, me traveling back. But, this is a 1-400 air traffic control tower of Sacramento International Airport, my home airport. My goodness, I've been wanting this for so long. I think during the beginnings, like I've ever since Airliners International 2024, because I did saw Tarmac Designs. They had like various like ATC towers, and then they had SFO. So I got SFO from last year. So I kindly asked them if ever they're gonna make a Sacramento International Airport ATC tower. They said they might, who knows, but then it came down to Airlines International 2025 when I was looking at their vendor table. I was browsing all like the various air traffic control towers, like there was San Francisco, Atlanta, Charlotte, all the various like ATC towers from around the country and around the world. But then when I saw SMF, I had a really insane reaction, and honestly, I wish I could have recorded my reaction to that. But I was like, "Oh my god, that's SMF!" And I was like really happy about that. I was like beyond words. And I think it was just like $20. So that was a really good price for a 1/400 SMF ATC tower. And this is 3D printed, by the way. Tarmac Designs are known to have some really good 3D printed models. And like from like monoplanes, like mainly the caravans, but they're known for having these 1/400 ATC towers and terminals. So, and jet bridges too. So, as I open this up, there is the base plate right there. Oh my god, yes, SMF, look at that. Wow. Looking very different compared to last year, because I think the base plate from last year was white, and then they just have like the placards saying like the tower in gold with a black background. This is kind of like blending in with the black base and the black placard that has SMF in it. But we're gonna get into like the ATC tower from all these like packing paper right there. And oh man, there she is, the 1/400 scale Sacramento International Airport ATC tower. Wow, this looks incredible to say the least. And here is the top portion of the tower. Wow. And also, they also got the color right too. Like as you can see, like this part is like a creamish color, and then from like the area where the ATC operates, it's like brown, and then not sure. I think white on the top, I guess. But still, this is really cool to have. Wow, and there she is. Gosh, that looks beautiful right there. Wow, really nice to finally have a 1/400 scale air traffic control tower of my home airport. Wow, that's just incredible. That is incredible. So thank you so much, Tarmac Designs, for this. This looks, it's beyond words for me. Of course, me being an SMF, I worked at this airport, I plane spot there, and now I have a 1/400 ATC tower. That is awesome. That just shows you how many of these, it just shows you how good these 3D designs are from like Tarmac Designs. But man, that's just incredible right there. Wow, that looks very nice. So let me give you guys a 360 of this. Wow, even they got some like, I'm guessing these like things right there, these extenders, as you like to call it, those are the lights of the ATC tower. But still, this looks really cool. Really nice to have it, and it will work well for my SFO ATC tower, which those are the two airports I normally plane spot in NorCal. So really nice to feature SMF on the lineup, and maybe that's it for ATC towers for Tarmac Designs, unless I want to get another one. But still, I think I'm okay with SMF and SFO. But yeah, this looks really amazing. So once again, thank you so much, Tarmac Designs, for this. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm really glad to have it for pretty much like for my ATC tower collection, I'll say. So yeah, that is the SMF ATC tower from Tarmac Designs. Let's proceed on to the next memorabilia items. Alright, so we have quite a large item to take a look at, and what this is, it's a Delta Airlines bag that was from the Delta Flight Museum. So this is what it looks like. It's made out of course, like fabric. And then you can see the Delta Airlines logo. And I do want to give a shout out to Lucas's dad, because he gave this to me the day after Airliners International, because I ended up visiting the Delta Flight Museum one last time just to check on things, and he was able to give me this bag so I don't have to carry that many stuff. So it looks very nice, and it's a unique bag too. So here's kind of like the various aspects of the bag. There's like some seat pockets, not really seat pockets, there's some pockets over there. There's like a tag, and then it's kind of like I had to like carry this with my shoulder, like carry it like this. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, this is like the bag itself. But we're gonna take a look at the memorabilia items that are inside there. So how I would open this is there's like this strap right here, and then there's like a buckle over there. So all I just gotta do is just like open it like so, like this. There we go. So now that it's open, let's take a look at all the memorabilia items that are inside here. So let's get started. So I did get a Texan Airplane Store bag on day one. I ended up getting this because of models and all that. So yeah, that's that. Next up, I do have a Delta Airlines cap. Now these are one of the items I got from the Delta Flight Museum shop, and I ended up getting 3 of these. So this is item number 1. So it's the Delta Airlines cap, a nice white cap, and I think I've used this throughout my time going back to Sacramento. So it's a really nice hat and really nice to have a cap by Delta Airlines. Next up, I'm not sure how this is gonna fit the camera, but I did get a Delta Airlines jacket with the 100 years logo right there. So yeah, really nice jacket. I might use this, or maybe it's like a jacket. Yeah, it's a jacket, but I mean, kind of like a sweater, some kind of like way. But I think this will be useful if I were to go to like Seattle, since of course Seattle being a Delta Airlines hub. And yeah, during the winter times, it does get cold there. So this will come in handy. And then here is the back side. If I could try to look at this. It says, "We'll never stop climbing." So look at very nice right there. So I think I do want to like put the jacket to the side right there. We do have a couple more shirts right here. So I have a shirt similar to this, but this one's a different color, and it's a Delta L1011 t-shirt. So I do have a similar shirt to this, but this one is red, but I ended up getting the blue just to like get some nice contrast to it, like just to spice things up a bit. So it says Delta gets you there, and then it shows you the Delta L1011, and I'm assuming these are the locations that the Delta L1011 flies to, and then you can see the Delta Airlines logo at the bottom of the shirt. So I think it's coming for that one vendor table that had some like various like t-shirts and of airlines. I got some of them from Dallas, but I ended up getting 2 here in Atlanta. I don't think I never got one in Kansas City, so yeah, I took a break on that. But it's really cool regardless. And here is another one, just kind of like because of the Delta Airlines theme, and since we're inside the Delta Flight Museum, I ended up getting this one, which is another Delta Airlines shirt, which is the Delta Airlines Boeing 747. It says at the bottom, "All hail the Queen, honoring 30 years of the sky, Boeing 747-400. And you can see the Delta 744 right there. It's a very nice aircraft in the Delta Airlines fleet. They were the last U.S. airline to operate the Boeing 747. So it's really cool. And of course, the 747-400 that's in the Delta Flight Museum, that is the first 747-400 prototype. So it's really cool. It's really cool on how they were able to display that at the Delta Flight Museum. Let me see if I can go over just to make sure if there's any more. Or there's some in those seat pockets. Like there's some pockets that I could like take a look at. But I just want to check to make sure that's everything. So yeah, kind of like just digging around. But if that's what the case, I think I do got one more from this bag, and it's this one right here. I'll go over, or maybe if I could just like go over and unbox this for you all. But yeah, that's it for the Delta Airlines bag right there. So what this is, so this piece of like whatever you like to call it, like what's inside here is a diorama panel from Brad Myers. So the business card I showed you about the custom diorama panels, this is one of the products I got from him. So I do want to take this out right now to showcase to you guys, and it's wow. It's basically a apron, basically like an airport apron or a ramp area, and as you can see, the details on this is just phenomenal, and I think Brad Myers did a phenomenal job on putting so much detail on this. And then as you can see at the back, it says parking stands H3 and H4, 1/4 scale or 500 scale, or 1 to 500 scale, pairs of G1 and G2. So yeah, I just got a pair of these. Again, he also made some like diorama panels of San Diego runways, LAX runways, and all the other runways from around the world and the US. So really cool to actually have this from Brad Myers, and wow, this looks really incredible. I think I might have to go in a separate, I might have to make a separate video out of this, but Jeez, that looks really cool right there. Wow. And of course, there is his business card, as I mentioned on the previous clips. But overall, really nice haul from the Delta Airlines bag right there, and we're kind of like nearing done with all the various like memorabilia haul items I got. So yeah, so let me just line them out. Of course, my shirts are all the way over there, but I think I might want to like save them for like the end portion of this video. So yeah, those are all the various like memorabilia items I got from the Delta flight, like the Delta Airlines bag right there. And of course, I mean, I just want to get the shirts there, but yeah. So yeah, looking very nice right here. Let me just like, you know, do this. Alright, so that's basically it for all what's inside the Delta Airlines bag right there. But we only got a few more items left on the next video clip, and I think the next video clip is where I'm gonna round off all the memorabilia items. So without being said, let's move on to the next video clip as we round off this memorabilia haul. We're soon going to be rounding off this video as I have 3 more memorabilia items left. So I do want to get started with the first one out of the 3. Now this one I got from the registration desk while I was doing my registration for Airliners, and of course with every Airliners convention I go to, I always have my lanyard. So as you can see, looking different for this year. Of course, this similarity is this one, so it features my name, Henry, and there's the Airliners International 2025 logo, and then some kind of like number. I still don't know what the number represents, but the difference is the lanyard is actually from World Airline Historical Society. During the previous 2 conventions I went to in Dallas and Kansas City, they were all from Airways magazine. So it's really cool that I now have a lanyard that features the World Airline Historical Society logo. So really cool that they changed this up for this year. So let me just set this aside. Next memorabilia items I got are a few pens, so let me just grab them. They all came from like different like retailers, from the vendor tables. 2 of them from Texan Airplane Store, so let me just showcase to them right now. So here are the 2 Texan Airplane Store pens. Of course, like just your simple pen, nothing to go over too much, but I decided to get 2 because yes. So as you can see, there's their logo, and then you can see Texan Airplane Store, planes with a south twist. I think that's what it says. Yes, that's what it says. So these are the 2 Texan Airplane Store pens I got, but I also got a pen from Tarmac Design. So here is Tarmac Design's pen. Of course, like, it's much thinner than the Texan Airplane Store, but of course, you got Tarmac Designs by Andrew Roski. That's how I pronounce it. But yeah, here's their pen right there. And the last aviation memorabilia item from this haul video are a couple of posters. Now, with these posters, I think I had to pick 2 while I was at the Delta Flight Museum. And I think that was on day 1. So like, when you enter the convention, you get your booty bag. Now, how the booty bag works is I did not actually got it from the registration desk at the Renaissance, and that's during day 1 on the 25th. But on the 26th is where I got that booty bag. So yeah, so in addition to that, I also had to pick 2 posters. There were some really nice posters of like retro aviation. There was like an American DC-10. I think there was a Northwest 727. They got really nice posters of retro aviation. So I grabbed my 2, and honestly, these have got to be my favorite. So we're gonna get started with, if I could just put that aside, we're gonna get started with the United Airlines Douglas DC-10. This aircraft is registered November 1816 uniform, and honestly, this looks really nice. And I think this is the person who made it, Douglas Nelson. I think this was made in 1985, and gosh, that looks really amazing right there. So copyright 1986, Douglas Nelson, United Airlines DC-10, created for future aviation professionals of America. This looks really cool, and I assume he painted this, but my gosh, that looks really nice right there. So of course, this is the DC-10 representing the Sawbass livery, and of course there's some creases because I had to like fold them so it can fit in my booty bag, because again, the booty bag for this year is a lot smaller than the previous 2 years I went to the convention. So that's that. And the final poster I got, and honestly, I do want to save the best for last, but this is also by Douglas Nelson, and I had to do it. My favorite Delta Airlines aircraft, the Lockheed L-1011 TriStar. Man, that honestly looks really cool. And I think what's really cool about, like, unique about this poster is it shows you the numbers of like which number is it out of like a total number. So there are about 1,000 copies of these posters right here, and I got the 422nd one. And as for that Douglas DC-10, I got the 524th copy. So real cool right there. Once again, this is okay, I think this is different. So copyright 1985, Delta L1011, created for the future aviation professionals of America. So really nice to feature this L1011 too, and of course, it's my favorite aircraft out of the entire Delta fleet, from retro to modern, but it's mostly that L1011 because that looks nice. And he also did a wonderful job on painting the L1011 right there. So really, really cool right there. I think most of them are like painted, and yeah, just phenomenal efforts from here right there. But that's really cool. But yeah, that's it for this Aviation Memorabilia Haul video. So let me just like set my tripod down so you can take a look at these. And yeah, what a way to really round this off with these two beauties right here. So let me just like do this. There we go. So yeah, take a look at that. That looks excellent right there. So yeah, that's it for this Aviation Memorabilia Haul video. I think we're about an hour long, like over an hour long of this video, because like, again, I was trying to like make sure to go through them as quick. I don't want to make this video 2 hours long, but I think we're in the 1 hour mark. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but we're not going to be done yet, as I got my conclusion portion of this video to go to. So without being said, let's move on to the conclusion of this video. And that's going to do it for this Aviation Memorabilia Haul video. And as you can pretty much see, this is nearly my entire Aviation Memorabilia Haul from Airliners International 2025. Of course, similar to last year, because of how many memorabilia items I got, I ended up picking up the best ones, I'll say, and I left the others somewhere in my bed. So this is what it looks like, basically. So overall, really nice haul right there. I do want to go over them one by one. So I'm going to start from the left, or I'm not going to make it to the right. So starting on the left side, we have the beautiful print of the United DC-10. There is my lanyard and the layover layouts card. There is the Delta Airlines Sacramento timetable right there. There's the Continental Airlines badge, Jet Set Mall sticker, and the custom diorama panels business card right there. And of course, as you can see, this is the diorama panel I got from Brad Myers, and overall it looks very nice. And then yeah, I did an example of like a airport operation right there, so really cool. Next up I got is the photo enrichment's business card right there. I also got some safety cards, so 3 of them were from my flight, and I got this from the airline collectible show, so it's the Hawaiian 787. Then I also have like these tags right there, 787 and Cessna logo, and then I also got the United Airlines cards right there. Moving on to this side, I also have the black table that I'm going to go over too. So next up we have some business cards right there, so Clipper models, Squatchies, Photo Richards, MV400, Texan, Jet Set, Tarmac, Final Approach Collectibles, Delta Flight Museum, and West Coast Diecast. And then proceeding over here, we have all the cards I have from the Tally-Ho trading cards right there. So you can see all the 3 right there. There's my Delta Airlines Boeing 717 trading card right there I got from the pilots. And of course, we got the beautiful Sacramento International Airport ATC Tower. Really glad to have that from Tarmac Designs. Here is the Tarmac Designs and Texan Airplane Store pen. And then I also got the booty bag of the Airliners International 2025 convention. So again, looking different than normal from last year and the other year, 2023. There's a flight operations guide of Airliners 2025. And then I also got the sticker as well. And then there is the 737-800 trading card that I got from the pilots from my Sacramento to Atlanta flight. Got a couple of postcards right here. I got a Delta DC-9 postcard, United DCA postcard, and I also got the stickers right here. So magnets. Magnets of the Delta L1011-500, Delta Airlines logo, and the Hawaiian Airlines logo with the DC-10. There is my Airliners International 2025 Jet Set bag tag right there. Not really a bag tag, but just a tag. Or a keychain. Yeah, keychain. So Airliners 2025 keychain from Jet Tip. Moving on to the right side, we have the print of the Delta L1011, my Delta Airlines cap I got from the Delta Flight Museum, and some shirts as well from that one vendor table. So I got an L1011 shirt of Delta and a Delta 747 shirt. Rounding off with more postcards on this white table, so we have postcards of an L1011, and MD-11 for Delta Airlines, and a Battleship Grade 777 for United, and the Hawaiian Airlines DC-9. And as I go over the black table, we have the Yukon Air North 737-700, the Airliners International 2026 Flyer, and the San Francisco collectible show for September 20th, 2025. This is their flight right there. And we also got 2 more postcards, or 3 more in this case. We have the United 787-8, United 777-200 in the Battleship Great Livery, and the Hawaiian Airlines Convair 580 with diamond-headed Waikiki Beach in the background. We have a Delta Airlines Boeing 767-400 trading card. Thank you, Lucas, for those. And in addition, I also got this from Lucas as well. An AC-20 trading card and 2 737 trading cards. So that's it for this memorabilia haul. So overall, again, what a lineup of aviation memorabilia items I got from this year's convention in Atlanta. And overall, just by looking at it, it just looks really fantastic. And overall, really glad to do another of these aviation memorabilia haul items. And yeah, I remember back then the memorabilia haul, what are those? Oh, these Airliners International haul videos. I feature most of them, but since that's kind of like is, I will say, I mean, it's nice to feature models in there, but it kind of isn't a point. I'm not sure why it's like, why they're featured on a haul video if I could have featured those in a mass unboxing, but these are pretty much all the haul videos. So there's a reason why I have this aviation memorabilia haul playlist of videos. So this is going to, once again, be on the aviation memorabilia hauls playlist, and overall, these are really nice assets right there, and we'll see where 2026 goes in Denver, Colorado. Not sure. I have no confirmation yet if I'm going to be going to that convention or not, but only time will tell. But if anything happens, then change the plans. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to kind of like I'll say displaying these somewhere in my room or something, and yeah, just like display some postcards and all that, and probably wear the shirts. But really nice aviation memorabilia haul items once again. I'm just looking forward for the massive unboxing portion from this Airliners haul, which will cover all of the models, which I'm really excited. I believe I got so many models from this convention that this mass unboxing can end up being the biggest in this YouTube channel, I'll say. So looking forward for the mass unboxing portion of this Airliners International haul, which will be the model portion. And yeah, this pretty much rounds off for this whole video. So again, we might be on an hour long, but yeah, it is to be expected if I get so many aviation memorabilia haul items like this. So looking forward to doing something with these, and I'm really glad to have these memorabilia hauls from the Airliners International 2025 convention in Atlanta. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell icon so you won't miss a new upload from me anytime soon. And don't forget to check out all my Airliners International videos by clicking on the Airliners International 2025 playlist, and it shows you all the videos I did, from videos, shorts, and everything I did from the Airliners International convention in Atlanta. And don't forget to check out JJ Aviation's Airliners International 2025 community content playlist, and it shows you all of the videos from various content creators, including me, who did these videos during the convention. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.